So welcome to Astrology Math Made Simple. We are understanding the numbers behind your birth chart in this video. And the core idea of this is that astrology already uses math. It's based on exact positions, angles, and timing. This course teaches you how to calculate and understand these numbers yourself, so you're not just using apps, but actually understanding what they mean. I always get like hair on the screen, and that shit is really annoying. But anyways, part 1, we have the basic numbers. So every astrologer needs these basic numbers. And the question is, well, why do you need the basic numbers? Okay, well, we have our birth chart, and that's a cosmic clock. So what we are to do is to imagine the sky at your exact birth time frozen like a photo. In the math, converting your birth time, place, into planet positions, and why it matters is 4 minutes of time difference equals 1 difference in your chart. What did I miss on that? 1 degrees of a difference in your chart. Okay. So, the 12 signs are going to be dissected into the 12 slices, i.e. your houses as well. So, let's look at this. And this is simple math. We're looking at a 360-degree circle, and it's divided by 12 houses equaling 30 degrees per house. But houses are not equal. They stretch and shrink based on where, when you were born. Sorry. Oops. No, it's not even letting me fix it. Okay. Oops. No, over here. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna have to write over it. Alright, sorry guys. Google Docs is Google Docs. Where and when you were born. So, here's what you'll learn. Me sneezing. So how to calculate house cusp positions, which is essentially the lines between your natal houses. Okay? And also, I just wanted to highlight this. Astrology already uses math. It's based on exact positions, angles, and timing. This is what we're going over. And this course teaches you how to calculate and understand these numbers yourself, so you're not just using apps, but actually understanding what they mean, understanding the numbers behind your birth chart made simple, okay? So, let's change it for color. I gotta eat some food, guys, sorry. This Mediterranean bowl is really good. So, Alright. As you guys see on the screen, we're talking about angles. So, in astrology, there are aspects, also known as angles, and this is astrology special math. So, the major aspects, it's just division. What are we doing? We're looking at conjunctions, and that means it's 0 degrees apart. Planets are together. Opposition. What does that mean? It's 180 degrees apart, half the circle. A trine is 120 degrees apart. 360 degrees divided by 3 equals 120 degrees. A square is 90 degrees apart. So 360 degrees divided by 4 equals 90 degrees. And sextile, 60 degrees apart. It's 360 degrees divided by 6 equaling 60 degrees. So here's a real example. If Mars is at 15 degrees of Taurus and Venus is at 15 degrees of Scorpio, Taurus and Scorpio equals 6 signs apart. And 6 signs multiplied by 30 degrees per sign equals 180 degrees. That's an opposition for those that didn't get that. Because why? Because they are 6 signs apart. Half the circle. Mars is at 15 degrees Taurus and Venus is at 15 degrees Scorpio. Taurus, Venus, Mars, Scorpio, 15 degrees, 15 degrees. Okay, I just feel like I have to break it all down. So, the orb, how close is close enough? Well, the perfect aspect is exactly 120 degrees, 90 degrees, etc. People have their own opinion about what the perfect aspect is, but usually it's exactly 120 degrees or 90 degrees. So the reality is planets are usually close enough within 8 through 10 degrees. And what you'll learn is how to decide when an aspect counts. Okay, let's get into part 3. Timing techniques, the cool math. So, progressions. These are essentially your life movie. Okay, a simple version. 1 day after one birth equals 1 year of life in this incarnation. So I need to be clear about that because you want to know age 30? Look at planets 30 days after your birth. The math, just add the days to your birth date. Let's look at solar returns, your yearly forecast. What is it? Where the sun returns to your exact birth position. When is it? Around your birthday each year. So the math is finding that exact minute each year. Here's the transits. What's happening now? Simple tracking. So where is Jupiter today versus where it was when I was born? Subtraction. This is literally how we get the answer to that. The current position minus the birth position. Okay? Simple math. Part 4, practical exercises. First, we calculate your moon phase using a simple formula because this is what this video is about. New moon is what? The sun and the moon in the same position. A full moon is what? Sun and the moon opposite. 180 degrees apart. Waxing is what? Moon ahead of the sun. Waning is what? Moon behind the sun. Here's what we have to try. We have to get your sun and your moon positions from any chart. Usually it's your natal chart. We subtract moon position minus sun position, and our result is 0 through 180 degrees equaling waxing, and we have 180 through 360 degrees equaling waning. Here's the second exercise. Finding your chart's most aspected planet. How do we do that? Well, here's a step-by-step guide. We list all the planets, and we count how many major aspects each makes. And the highest count equals the most influential planet. Okay? So, we are to calculate relationship compatibility. Simply, we compare sun signs first. Everyone knows this. We compare moon signs, emotional connection. We count the positive versus challenging aspects between charts. And formula, positive aspects multiplied by 2, subtracting challenging aspects equals compatibility score. Essentially, when we're talking about relationships and compatibility, we're talking about your synastry and your composite charts. I've made other videos about these things, so it's up to you. It's up to you. Do you want to learn about your life, or do you always want to pretend to be confused? Okay. Part 5, using basic spreadsheets for astrology. Using an automatic aspect calculator, Excel, Google Sheets formula, this is what I came up with. And so I explained this, don't worry. So B2, we don't want to draw over it. So B2 is the planet 1 position, and C2 is the planet 2 position, and the result is degrees apart. Okay? Here's the transit tracking table. We create columns for the planet, the birth position, and today's position. And the difference is aspect formed using IF formulas. So here's part 6, real applications. Better client readings. Instead of you have a square somewhere and it's just babbling on about stuff that's really not going to help you, you can say, or Mars is at 22 degrees Aries, squaring your moon at 24 degrees Cancer, and that's 88 degrees apart, which is a 2 degrees orb. Very strong. This happens every time Mars hits those degrees. And then finding important dates. For example, Jupiter returns to its birth position every 12 years. So here's the math. We use your current age divided by 12, and that equals how many Jupiter returns you've already had. And then the next one, we multiplied the returns, multiplied by 12, and that equals the next important Jupiter year. We have to do understanding patterns. Grand trines, T-squares, all of it. So grand trines essentially mean that 3 planets are involved with each other, and they're each 3 planets are each 120 degrees apart. So that's what I was trying to get at with that. Okay. We got there eventually, but it took us a little bit. All right, a T-square. Well, 2 planets, opposite 180 degrees, both square, 90 degrees to a third. The math is just checking distances. Okay? Here's part 7, tools and resources. And here's free calculation tools. I've said some of these in my other video on getting, more astrology knowledge for free. Astro.com does the math for you, but now you'll understand it. Astroseek.com, great for practicing calculations. Google Sheets Excel, make your own calculators. Simple formulas to memorize. Sines 2 degrees, sine number, multiplied by 30 equals the starting degree. Aries equals 0 degrees, Taurus equals 30 degrees, Gemini equals 60 degrees, and so forth. So, house cusps can use online calculators. The math is complex. Aspect strength, 10 subtracted by the degrees off from exact equals strength, so 1 through 10. Avoiding common math mistakes. So the 0 degrees versus 360 degrees problem, 359 degrees and 1 degrees are only 2 degrees apart. Time zone confusion. Always convert to universal time first. Daylight savings, was it in effect at your birth? Location matters. 1 degrees longitude equals 4 minutes time difference. Here's the simple study plan. If you want to follow it, you can learn to calculate planet positions manually just once to understand. Practice aspect calculations 5 minutes a day. Try progression math, simple addition. Build your own spreadsheet calculator and read charts mathematically for friends. The bottom line, you don't need to be a math genius. Here's what you simply need to understand. A circle is already equaling 360 degrees. 12 signs equal 12 houses equal 30 degrees each, mostly. Aspects are specific angles between planets. Time matters. Subtract by exact birth time equals exact chart. Certification project. If you want to do this, you can create a simple one-page birth chart interpretation that includes 3 exact aspect calculations you did yourself, 1 progression timing for next year, 1 compatibility analysis with someone using your math, and an explanation of how the math affects the interpretation. Passing requirement, your math must be 100% correct, even if interpretation varies. Remember, every professional astrologer understands this math. It's what separates hobbyists from professionals. So you're learning the language of the sky, and that language speaks in degrees, minutes, and angles. Math doesn't replace intuition. It gives intuition a precise vocabulary to speak. But I beg to differ. Astrology math. Astrology-based math. Thank you for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one to teach you more advanced astrology. With peace and love, Piscean X05.